Welcome back. You tuned into Mid Morning Talk, and we're into our final segment of Mid Morning Talk. And now we're talking educational insights and specifically advice and counsel offered to matric students. So we know matric learners, uh, um, they will be writing the prelim exams very soon. And yes, half year exams were scrapped for this year, and just prelim exams matrics will be writing soon. But however, um, this year, what had happened is July, as I mentioned, was a really, really difficult month for all South Africans, including matrics, where schools were then just closed suddenly. And while being at home during the pandemic was a chance to study, South Africa had then experienced 10 days of unprecedented unrest, civil unrest, and in some situations where matric students were directly affected and impacted. So, how do we counsel and advise, especially our matriculants, in terms of moving on from here in preparation for the upcoming preliminary exams? And I'm speaking to experienced mathematics tutor, as well as one of the founders of Kway tutorial support, Mr. Educator, Mr. Ahmed Khota. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Educational Insights.
Walaikum salam. How are you, Maryam?
I'm doing well, and I know you're passionate about education, especially when it comes to learners grade 10 to 12, in terms of guiding them, nurturing them. And I feel their challenges in terms, I saw every year you write prelims, you write final exams, in terms of how you guide the learners towards their matric examination, and in terms of preparing them there. So, matric here 2020 prelim exams, where are we at now? And in terms of preparations, what is your advice and counsel with them in light of what transpired now in July 2020?
I just want to say Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah for giving me an opportunity on air, and want to say Assalamu alaikum to all our listeners. Now, we were talking about uncomfortable conversations. I think that was your previous topic. And I think mathematics now is a very uncomfortable conversation, especially with the grade 11s and 12s. Look, if you're looking at pre-COVID, by this stage of the year, a matriculant would have been at least about 50 to 60% ready for his prelim exam. Due to COVID and due to the online support and the whole revolution that took place within the education space, from our experience this year, we've seen probably close to about 200, 250 matriculants this year. At this point in time, it's looking very bleak. If you're looking at readiness for grade 12, you're looking at only 30%. Grade 11 and 12, you're looking at, if they are ready for their prelim exam, you're looking at about 30 to 40% readiness. And that is exceptionally alarming. We need to put in programs. Learners need intervention. And this is where the conversation needs to lead. Look, we've had the pandemic. You've got the crisis that's taking place in the country. And as we're sitting right now, these learners are not prepared. So we need to offer whatever support we can through all the various mediums, through all the various platforms, and get these matriculants ready, because the way it's looking from our side, from personal experience and from my personal perspective, is that we ought to see about the worst matric results that we've ever seen. Besides that, if you take last year, 2011, most of the grade 11s were just pushed through into grade 12 because of all the disruptions last year. And teachers at school are not equipped or do not have the capacity right now to actually go back and revise the grade 11 content in order to get a grade 12 learner ready for this exam. So that's where we're sitting right now.
And then where to from here in terms of additional support? As you said, education department, parents, even learners will have to then tap into additional support and
Correct.
resources. And I know your tutorial center offers, tell us more about the offering in terms of workshops for grade 11s and 12s as well.
Look, currently, if the schools are going to wait for external intervention from the department, they're going to probably wait forever. So this is where a learner and a parent has got to take their education into their own hands, and they've got to now source professional. I'm not talking from just from the K-way perspective, but they really need to source professional help. And with this whole pandemic, and what has transpired now is that people are grappling onto straws. So anybody who's offering maths and science, the person down the road who claims that he knows maths and science or did well in grade 12, they're reaching out to these people, because this is what it's human nature right now.
Desperation, yeah, we are desperate.
Correct. But the thing is that you wouldn't fly with an unqualified pilot. So how can you hand your child over to unqualified specialists? So yes, they do find a place in it, but I think that, you know what, parents really need to start consulting professional help, people who are specialists in the field, in order to support these learners, to guide them, to get them not only with content ready, but to get them emotionally ready and boost their morale to be able to be capacitated to be able to write this exam, because it's going to be a major exam that they're about to write. Prelim exam dates have been set. We're looking at about a month left for the grade 12s, and this is the time where all support, everybody's got to pull hands together. So in terms of our personal offering at K-Way Institute, people can call into the station. They can, we offer free advice at any time. So they can contact us at the K-Way Institute. They can, I don't know if I'm allowed to give my cell phone number over.
We'll leave it here. What we'll do is I'll have the details here at the studio, and I'm sure if they Google K-Way, they will pick up all your details.
Institute. That's number one. And number two, what we intend doing is a collaboration between different radio stations, of which Salam Media is also part of this initiative, inshallah. And we hope to do a rollout program to support matriculants before the prelims and before finals. So whether schools have completed the syllabus or haven't completed the syllabus, no matter what the conditions are, this is where our support is going to come in to network all the radio stations, and then provide a platform, an online platform, where learners, regardless of race, color, or creed, to come onto the platform, and then I will facilitate it myself to ensure that everybody is 100% on par and ready to write their final exams, inshallah, for this year.
And tell me, does this part of the offering is this, well, in terms of, for me, when it comes to grade 11 in matric, I've seen that it's not only being familiar in mastering the content, but understanding the art of writing that question paper. So be in terms of looking at mark allocation, time allocation, if it's 5 marks, you shouldn't be spending more than 5 or 6 minutes there, because it's almost, I always liken it to athletics, in terms of, if you got your 400-meter specialist, he's going to say, at this 100-meter mark, I need to be here. And then at 200 there, and my final stretch is where I have to take everything and empty out the tank. So you have to, it's about pacing yourself and explaining. So I think while focus is a lot on content, but the thing is, once you have the content, you need to know how to then utilize it to the maximum so that you can score maximum marks. So do you give guidelines and advice as well in terms of the art of answering the question paper, so to speak?
A big part of our intervention is on how to pace themselves. In fact, we train them to finish a 3-hour paper in 1.5 hours. So if you're looking at a simple equation, you were talking about a 5-mark question. The first advice that we give to, I'm giving to all matriculants or all parents, that hopefully they can share it to their learners, is that they must take their mark allocation in mathematics and divide it by 2, and that will equal to their time. So if it's a 150-mark paper and they got a 5-mark question, essentially or effectively, they've only got 2.5 minutes to answer a 5-mark question in an exam, and that's how they're going to pace themselves. So part of our training is time management, to ensure, because you'll find most learners will say, I knew the work, but I only finished half the paper. That's why I got 50%. But I knew the balance of it. If only I had more time. So yes, you 100% correct. Part of our training is on how to finish a 3-hour paper in 1.5 hours, so that they can do the paper twice using 2 different strategies, so that when they finish the paper, they don't say, I think I got a distinction. They say, I know I got a distinction.
And that breeds confidence as well. So I love what you're saying in terms of the program, that you giving them that confidence, taking allaying that stress and anxiety. And once they confidence is half your battle as well, in terms of the frame
100%.
of mind that you enter, and then you write this paper. So what we'll do is we'll have your details on him. If anybody wants, they can contact us, or
Sure.
if they Google Kway Institute, they'll get it. And then, any parting advice do you think with appropriate intervention in students burning the midnight candle, so to speak, they
With
should be
ESCOM, that is the
adequately?
case.
That is
With
the case.
ESCOM, they are
Yes.
going to be burning the midnight oil.
So would learners still be able to be adequately prepared for prelims and camp finals if they start now working and have a game plan in mind? Are you hopeful?
I'm glad you raised that point. My parting advice to everyone, it's possible. It's very, very possible. Even if your child is sitting on 30% or 40% in mathematics now, there is huge hope between now and finals to get them their 75 and 85, 75 to 100% in mathematics. Definitely possible. They just need to engage with the right people, and they need the right intervention. Not any intervention. They need the correct intervention for the correct problem.
Okay, so are we going to leave it there? Correct intervention for your problem. So analyze your problem and then get your intervention accordingly. And thank you for joining us here on Salam Media. We will then discuss with you in terms of collaborating for a platform for those workshops that you propose to have in the very soon. You will be having it in the near future.
Inshallah. What to all the listeners that are listening out there, we'd like you to engage with Salam Media. We'd like you to phone into Salam Media. We'd like to put you to post your comments, call them if you are interested in getting your child onto this program, and you are and you do want Salam Media and other radio stations to actually engage with us to provide the necessary support for your child. If your child is in grade 11 and 12, core math, I'm not talking math literacy at this point, just pure maths. So please contact the radio station, let them get some feedback so that we know exactly what the public is feeling and how the public feel about it. And inshallah, we will then activate and engage with the listeners in order to get their children ready for the final exams, inshallah. We've done this before. We've done it on Voice of the Cape. We've done it on Radio Islam also last year, alhamdulillah. We've done with tremendous success. So obviously, the more people that phone into the radio station, the better our chances are of engagement, inshallah.
That specialist, mathematics specialist, Brother Mohammed Khota, and shukran to you. And yes, we've reached it's 1 minute past 1, and I'd like to leave you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings. May you be under the mercy and protection of the Almighty. We'll be in your company next Monday, inshallah, on Morning Talk with me, your host, Mariam Mia.